Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast, a Colts podcast with real takes and no clickbait. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by Dan Hertzler. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. We got some real data here now. It's been some interviews, some discussions, some news on some major stuff happening at the combine. But today was the first day we got some guys, the defensive linemen, running in shorts, and I know some people hate that kind of stuff, but it does matter. There is some impact on the athleticism, some of the drills they're doing, and we're going to talk about the combine. So, Josh, I know you got some ideas on some of the guys that kind of just eye popping 40s and times, and just kind of jumped off the page on us.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with just the big hitters first, and then we're going to dive into some more granular stuff here. Obviously, Nolan Smith out of Georgia. Ran, I think it was like a 4.3 40, 4.38, I believe it was. Running faster than some running backs. I mean, as the defensive end, I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then you have Chancey out of Pittsburgh, where he's already projected to be a day one guy. Runs a 4.67 as a defensive tackle. I think the fastest defensive tackle in the combine since like 2003. I mean, what do they feed these defensive linemen? I mean, the game's completely changed, it seems like.
Yeah, it's it's just wild that these guys are legitimate freaks. You used to see like maybe once every few drafts some of these massive guys, and now it just seems like every single combine we've got these massive guys, and they're going after the evolution of the new quarterback too. I mean, I think you picked up something Ballard said about the quarterback position.
Yeah, so in the pre-combine press conference, Ballard's like, look, It seems like the pocket passers are almost prehistoric. Like, they don't really come out anymore. Yeah. It's mobile guys. He's thinking that at this point, Colts fans are kind of used to the pocket passer. I mean, we had Manning. Luck was a hybrid a little bit, but pocket passer, Rivers and Ryan. That thing's kind of a thing in the past, and it seems like as the NFL is becoming more of a passing league over the last decade or plus, and a more mobile quarterback league, it seems like these defensive linemen are more like linebackers, like hybrid linebackers, and they just get down on the line and they rush and they're fast and they can capture these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked here, and we've already talked. We're going to keep speculating. There's a lot of rumors floating around that maybe the Colts aren't going to go after 1-1. And I'm still on record saying I want him to go after 1-1, but I'm starting to entertain this because you see they had interviews with Anthony Richardson, the quarterback out of Florida that's going up the charts. The kid out of Kentucky they're talking about could be the actual best quarterback in this draft. And so there's a lot of this talk going on. And so Colts, we got to kind of listen to it. We got to be paying attention to this. Even if they don't go quarterback, again, we don't think we think they're going quarterback, but if they don't, the kid out of Texas Tech hasn't done anything. His pro day is not till I think March 29th. But man, he's, I guess, wowing in the interviews. That's the other big part of this combine is that teams are starting to meet these guys, starting to talk to them, getting to know them, finding more about them than just what they can do running up and down. So there's a lot of intrigue, I think, from Colts. When you hear these interviews, you hear these rumors, don't just get stuck on, okay, what quarterback we take in the first round, even though that's most likely. Look at some of these defensive players. I mean, they are freaks, and we're excited about that. But we also have other picks, and we think here in the Common Colt podcast that Colts are going to get a guy maybe in the second or third day. And so we got some guys, again, we want you to pay attention to. I know you got some here, Josh.
Yeah, for me, I was really looking at Isaiah Foskey. I mocked him to the Colts. I told him as a guy to watch during the combine. He's really, I think, a 4.3 defensive end. He had 12 sacks with Notre Dame last year. I'm an Irish fan. I was watching the guy a lot. He ran a 4.58. Again, he's projected third round guy. He didn't hurt his stock today. And sometimes with the combine, there's guys who boom and they're just bam, they're there. I think of John Ross, a few years ago, guys like that who just blow up at the combine. But Foskey didn't do much of either. I think his stock stayed the same way, which is okay. And I think that not everybody's going to boom or bust. And I think some of the stuff that we might not see are these initial interviews, and that's where some of these guys actually might boom or bust, and that stuff doesn't always get out either.
Yeah, my guy I'm looking at is probably a third, fifth rounder. He's a standout out of the Division II, and so that right away kind of puts him down the line because he didn't play against the top talent. But this dude put up some numbers. He actually, I think it was close to breaking Judon, the rusher for the Patriots, his Division II record. And so you need to pay attention to Caleb Murphy out of Ferris State. I don't even know where Ferris State is. But this guy, I think, is going to be one of those high-rising sleepers that if the Colts can get him, man, if they get him with a 3rd-round pick or 4th-round pick, he's a name that you need to pay attention to. Caleb Murphy, start watching that, start seeing that. This dude makes plays. He has all the athleticism. He just didn't play against the top talent. And so that's one of the things you got to look for. You got to just take a gamble. You got to take a flyer. And so Caleb Murphy, man, he's a guy I'm going to keep an eye on here.
What do you think about the guys? I know Tyree Wilson, you alluded to him earlier, where he didn't perform in the combine. He did some interviews. It sounds like he did well in interviews. And Mozzie Smith, the Michigan defensive tackle, 2nd-round talent guy. Some thought he could have performed well at the combine and maybe pushed his stock up, but he didn't really do any drills either. So what do you think about these guys not doing the drills?
So it's really, to me, it's turned into a science to get ready for the combine. From what I'm hearing and what I read, these guys go to special trainings. They do all these special workouts. And if they don't think they're ready to show their very best, if they don't think they can hit the times, they hit the weights, they need more time. They're going to push this off. And so some of them have injuries. Some of them are coming off injuries. I know, kid from Texas Tech coming off an injury. Other guys can use as an excuse, and then they push it to their pro day. And so they just want to get their best time. Now, again, for me, that makes me a little nervous because NFL is about playing on the field. It's not just about what you do. And so that's where I think some of these guys, that push back, well, this isn't football. This is just, how fast you can run and how strong you are and all these things. There is some truth to that because you can get some workout warriors and they actually don't do anything on the field. So I'm not too worried about these guys not doing it. I would be more concerned about the fact that they don't do well whenever they do it. Okay. Because if you don't do well whenever you're doing it, I got some real problems with you because you've spent 2-3 months trying to get ready for this moment. And there's something there that just tells me maybe you're just not a gamer. Maybe you're just not ready for it. Maybe this isn't for you.
Yeah, it's always interesting. I know pro days and a combine, there's always those super high rocketing risers. Obviously, I think today, in my opinion, was Nolan Smith's day. I mean, there's graphics, there's highlights of him running down the field. He was the biggest standout, in my opinion, just because the 40-yard dash always gets the most hype. But it's just notorious that pro days literally can make guys or combine can make guys shoot up in the draft. You look at Zach Wilson. I know he was the Jets quarterback. They took him because he made a crossbody throw at his pro day. One throw in his pro day put him as the number 2 quarterback, number 2 pick in the NFL draft. So this stuff matters. It really does matter. And sometimes I think it almost the tape on the field gets overshadowed by what they see last, which a lot of times are these pro days and combine. To me, I think this stuff almost does get a little overhyped almost. But hey, it's important too. So I don't know. It's a balance.
Yeah, it is. It is. And with these pass rushers too, don't just look at the numbers, but look at some of the things you'll hear them say. How did they do with their balance? How did they do when they had to do double moves? Okay, some of these guys can just run faster or strong, but they don't have any moves. They don't have no pass rush moves. So you got to look beyond some of that stuff. But like you said, hey, it matters. It's not the end all, but it matters. The tape matters too, and we put all this together. I think we just need to start kind of catching our eye on some guys and start paying attention to it. I'm all in on this Caleb Murphy, man. I was impressed reading up on him, learning about him. I think he's going to be something. Could be special, kind of a late sleeper find for the Colts. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah, no, and guys, I hope you stick with us through this whole process. We're going to be releasing episodes on recap every day of this combine. We're going to be on this thing. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We're the Common Colt Podcast, where we give Colts news. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.